Renée Nicole Good was a mom like me, probably had similar political opinions as me. She was the same age as me. And now she's dead because a federal ICE agent murdered her. I'm gonna call it what it is. This was murder. Now, the people have been calling it body cam footage. It wasn't body cam footage. This guy who shot her was literally with his phone out filming the entire thing. The footage that just came out literally moments ago is his phone. It's the footage from his phone where he fumbles his phone and says, like he got hit by the car. Now, I'm gonna go through the angles step by step and explain in detail. I'm not gonna be throwing out any conspiracy theories or hypotheses in this video. I'm literally going to point at video and point out what I see. Our piece of shit president posted this. I've just viewed the clip of the event which took place in Minneapolis. It's a horrible thing to watch. The woman screaming was obviously a professional agitator. What does that mean? A human being who's frustrated with the way things are going, with the shit state of our country, and wants to use their voice to say something. Maybe they're even angry. God forbid someone be angry about what's going on right now. Guess what? That doesn't deserve to get you murdered. And I don't want to hear it. I could literally call a police officer any name in the book, all right? Is it okay to do that? Would I recommend it? Absolutely not. But that does not ever deserve being shot. These people are supposed to be trained not to do this shit. These people are supposed to be trained to de-escalate situations. I don't care how escalated the other person may or may not be. It's your job to protect and serve the people. This was an American citizen. Your job is to protect her too. Professional agitator. A professional agitator that, by the way, said, "It's okay, dude, I'm not mad at you."
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you. Show your face. I'm not mad at you.
Yeah, then he shoots her, and after says this.
Fucking bitch.
But she's the agitator, who then violently, willfully, and viciously ran over the ICE officer. I completely disagree with you, and I think every angle of every video that you're gonna see come out about this, all of the footage will prove that point, and I will show you why in this video.
The moment the agent fires, he is standing here, to the left of the SUV, and the wheels are pointing to the right, away from the agent. This appears to conflict with allegations that the SUV was ramming or about to ram the officer.
Based on the attached clip, it's hard to believe he is alive, but now recovering in the hospital, dude walked away. Dude stomped away angrily. And it's hard to believe he made it through. And now he's gonna try to be divisive again. Better to divide the people, right? These incidents are happening because the radical left is threatening, assaulting, and targeting our law enforcement officers. It's amazing that ICE can be doing what they're doing. I've talked about all the horrific things they've been doing for a long time. It's wildly unethical, violent, unnecessarily aggressive, purposefully agitating to people. And then he's gonna say, we got to protect our law enforcement officers from this radical left movement of violence and hate. We're the violent ones. Someone just got shot in the face 3 times. And he's got the audacity. Not enough people are talking about this, but do you see the first guy? They pull up, they get out of their truck, and this first guy runs up to the car. He grabs a hold of the door handle, tries to pull the door open, and when he can't do that, he reaches into the car to try to open the door. You're in this car, someone comes up to you, they have a mask on, they have a gun, they're now trying to rip your door open, they reach into your car. What are you gonna do? You're gonna try to get the fuck away from that person, right? That's what she was doing. If you see her, she is turning the wheel away from this man and she tries to get away from the person literally reaching his arms into her vehicle. Illegal, by the way. And I hate to be a little bit crass right now, but people who are dead cannot continue driving and steering a car. So if you look at the trajectory of where the car went and the angle she was turning to drive away from this man, it is clearly not to try to hit somebody else who placed himself, who did a complete 360. This other officer walked around the car with his phone out until he placed himself in front and to the left of the car. So when she was turning, he was in the way. 2 of his shots went through the side window, which clearly you're not going to be in front of the car if you're shooting through the side of the car. Excessive force, just a little. It is in their training to avoid intentionally placing themselves in positions in which they have no alternative to using deadly force. Maybe he wasn't paying attention because he was, on his phone. He was on his phone.
As he was crossing in front of a vehicle, which the training says you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't cross in front of a vehicle.
Yeah, you think? You think maybe that's in the training? Also in the training, they talk about firearms not being used at a moving vehicle. Also, no other objectively reasonable means of defense appear to exist, which includes moving out of the path of the vehicle. Move. You know what he didn't do? He didn't move out of the path of the vehicle. You know what he did do? He walked in front of the fucking vehicle when she's trying to get away from someone who was physically sticking his arm through her window into her car. She's trying to turn away from the man coming at her over here. And then a guy walks in front of her. He's like, I can't believe your car came towards me as you were trying to turn right and get away, which is the direction she kept going after being shot 3 times in the face. So I think safe to say she wasn't continuing to turn away to make it look like she was going further than what she wanted. Her intention was to turn right and get away from the man reaching into her car, and someone stepped in front of her and then murdered her. Homeland Security says one of these violent rioters weaponized her vehicle, attempting to run over our law enforcement officers in an attempt to kill them. An ICE officer, fearing for his life, fired defensive shots. This is a lie. This is a lie. You can watch the video with your own eyes. And what pisses me off so much is that all these people who are fired up on the right, leaving shitty comments like, fuck around and find out, there's a special place for you people. But like, you're the same people, right, that when COVID was a thing, I remember back in 2020, everyone saying, it's a conspiracy theory. I'm not getting vaccinated because it's a hoax. The government just wants you to believe them and you shouldn't trust the government. But now you can literally sit and watch a video of something happening and people are like, you know what? I trust the government. How is it that when Daddy Trump says something, you're going to believe it? You're going to sit there and call this woman, allow them to paint a narrative that she's some sort of domestic terrorist, or what did it say? Professional agitator? She's the terrorist. We have unchecked federal officers, who are very highly funded, by the way, going and attacking people, wearing masks to cover their face, hide their identity. Where are the body cams? Where is the accountability? They are aggressive. They're like the high school bully that wants to push you around and knows they're going to get away with it. These are angry, adrenaline-riddled, aggressive men getting to stomp on people, getting the ego trip that they clearly so desperately are so starved of, and they're gonna get away with it, right? Because fuck around and find out. Unchecked federal agents wearing masks, holding guns, aggressive, angry men charging at someone, reaching their arms into her vehicle, and she is the domestic terrorist? I don't even want to call it mental gymnastics because I don't want to give the credit of any mental activity in people who justify shit like this.
It was used as a weapon, and the officer feels as though his life was in jeopardy.
So this man with his phone out, who is trying to film, is filming with one hand as he pulls a gun out in the other. Where in the training is that? I don't know that the phone fumble was him getting hit because he's shooting a fucking gun as he's filming. It's gonna be real hard to keep your camera still when you're shooting a freaking firearm. I said this earlier, but dead people can't steer wheels. You can see her very clearly, and the angle at which she was turning that steering wheel was away from this man, okay? If you wanna hit somebody, you're not trying to turn so far away from them before you really accelerate. I mean, you can see. She's turning away. And then she continued, after she had been killed, to drive in the direction that she had intended, which was not at this man. It was to get away from the man sticking his arm in her car. And this asshole decided to stand in front of her with his phone out. He put himself there. And he was proud of it. He was trying to have something happen here. And I believe fully that he wanted to instigate something and be in the right place at the right time to kill someone. And that's what happened. This man, by the way, has been identified as Jonathan David Ross, so I hope that he gets prosecuted to the full extent of the law. I don't know if that's gonna happen. Apparently it's all up to the FBI, which is not a good outlook, right? Because the state of Minnesota wanted to be involved in this, but they got kicked out. The federal attorney's office took him off the case. Sorry. Trump appointed Kash Patel, head of the FBI. Now he's the one who gets to make the call, and I know it's gonna be so shocking when they investigate themselves and realize that they didn't do anything wrong. But the rest of us know his name, Jonathan David Ross, and I do hope you get everything that you deserve. And you know what's interesting is apparently like 6 months ago, this guy had an incident with someone in the car where he was injured because he was going after somebody, they were in a vehicle, and he got injured. So I don't think he was in the right headspace. This man was out for blood. He was out for revenge, and he got it. And if he wasn't mentally stable to be on the job, that should be part of the regulation that goes into getting these people hired to stuff like this to begin with. Which there are very little regulations and they keep getting smaller and smaller, but their budget keeps getting bigger and bigger.
The idea that this was not justified is absurd, and I think everybody knows it in their heart.
Everybody knows it in their heart, JD Vance, that you're full of shit. She had stuffed animals of toys from her 6-year-old child in the glove compartment, for God's sake. She wasn't gonna hurt anybody, and they wanted to kill her anyway.
That's fine, dude. I'm not mad at you.
And as disturbing as all this is, what I find even more disturbing are just the number of people willing to accept the narrative that she deserved it. You know? I posted a short video right after this happened on like Instagram and YouTube Shorts, just saying how completely embarrassed I am about this. And I'm horrified. And I'm scared. And I think that's the point. I think the point is to drive fear into people so that they don't resist, they don't protest, they don't make videos. I think it's going down that route. I'm not going anywhere. Why they're allowed to be masked and remain anonymous, which clearly is only gonna give people more of a power complex, more of a sense of immunity. I'm just so pissed. And this is just like the latest, right? I posted about this before. They rip people away from their families, mothers away from their children, people who are going through the process legally, coming out after doing the legal process and getting thrown in these detention centers. It is so disgusting. And I'm just so sick. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of the state of our country. I'm so sick of the apologists that support shit like this. And I'm just embarrassed. So I post this video, and what I find even more disturbing than everything that's already going on are the amount of people that just buy it. They buy the narrative that this guy was in the right, he didn't do anything wrong, he was defending himself, she was a domestic terrorist using her vehicle as a weapon, not trying to escape the man sticking his arm in her vehicle and trying to pull her out. None of that. No, she had intent to cause harm, so therefore he's allowed to shoot her in the face. Twice, by the way, standing beside the vehicle, clearly no longer in the path. Doesn't matter. We're gonna believe the government, because we love to believe the government. COVID was a hoax because we can't believe the government. What's consistency? We don't need to be consistent. What they actually mean is we don't trust the government unless it's people on our side. Then we can do no wrong and we totally trust everything that Trump says. No matter what. Literally, no matter what. Which brings me to the comment section. I got a lot of comments on this video that I posted. Like this. Dang, since when did Jacqueline start getting paid to spread anti-ICE propaganda? What happened to integrity nowadays? Why is it that everyone says people even accuse the woman who got shot of being a paid agitator. Like, I'm not getting paid, guys. It's insane, Brandon. My mom raised me and my 3 brothers to listen to authority. She clearly didn't listen and she tried running an officer over. Hello? Pick me, pick me, pick me. 2 + 2 is always 5 with libs. The left literally can't say 3 words without lying and gaslighting every single topic. Gaslighting is a very interesting choice of word right now, because what I'm doing is I'm looking at footage. I'm pointing out things that I can see, and you're telling me that I'm not seeing those things. So that feels pretty gaslighty to me. Johnny says, blah, blah, go watch the videos. She got what she deserved. Johnny, why are you following me? Of course, a Bible verse in the bio. That checks out, doesn't it? I looked at his stories and, he's just full of fun things. Thank you for the brave men and women in ICE. Thank you for shooting people in the face that weren't trying to hurt you. I support ICE. I do. She went there to cause a problem, her own family, so that she should have minded her own business. More proof that we need to stand up and end women's suffrage now. You do seem like a MAGA. That makes sense. I wonder if the pick me earlier, I wonder how she would feel if something like that happened. Would she just obey because that's what her mommy taught her to do? Lay down and take it. That's what my mom always said. I love ICE. Keep crying, you lawless communist libs. He stepped in front of her vehicle. You guys, he placed himself there. She was turning away from him. She had the wheel cranked all the way to the right, and then he shot her. As the car moved forward, he stepped to the side and shot her 2 more times and then walked away. She was scared and trying to get away. He's a murderer. It was not self-defense. It was not justifiable use of force, and he was not in danger. We all see this, right? Like it's on video. We're all seeing it. Yet so many people are still buying that he was in danger and it was self-defense. I don't understand. I will not let this become a debate. This is not a topic that we need to debate. We literally have eyes and saw what happened. They wouldn't even let a doctor who was nearby come and check on her.
She was trying to block traffic and then they got aggressive and she was scared and she started to drive off. She was trying to comply with what they said. Then they were trying to pull her out of the car and that's when she got scared and tried to drive away. She got shot and then immediately her foot went on the gas. She was I think she was already dead, but her foot hit the gas. She drove off maybe 100 feet and then hit the telephone pole and hit some cars. We have a neighbor who was, he's a physician and he was yelling, "I'm a physician, can I please administer CPR? Can I check her vitals? Can I please get through?" And they were like, "No, we have our own medics on their way." And then it was like 15 minutes before the EMS truck got here and the EMS couldn't get their vehicle through. So they arrived on foot. They couldn't get through because of the ICE vehicles, to be clear. They checked her up for maybe 5 minutes and then they carried her body like a sack of potatoes. They didn't even have a stretcher. They carried her out to the corner where they took her away.
It's just inhumane. I don't even know what else to say on it. I am so angry. Fuck ICE. And if you support ICE, then fuck you. I've been so unsettled for a long time about ICE, but it just keeps getting worse. And you know what? It's gonna keep happening. More people will die. These ICE agents need to be reined in. There needs to be accountability. They need to have body cams on, not taking selfies, okay? I'm not talking about that. They need body cam footage that is something that can be reviewed by other agencies aside from the FBI or ICE themselves. There needs to be some kind of accountability here because this is ridiculous. And it's fucking scary. When Charlie Kirk was assassinated, there were people out there who also were heartbroken and said it wasn't okay, but called out some of the shitty things that he said, and that was enough, right? That was enough to trigger people on the right saying, "How dare you speak poorly of someone who has just died? He deserves the respect," even though they were just quoting him. And I get all that, right? But where's your outrage for shit like this?
Really, you fucking punk? That's what you're gonna fucking do?
What?
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 What? Do you know what
Back
the fuck
up.
is that is for?
Back up.
What is that for?
Back up.
What is that for?
Back up.
What is that for?
Back up.
You're gonna push me? What is that for?
Back up.
What was that
I don't give a
for?
fuck.
They come up to this man, get in his face, and then tell him, "Back up, back up." He asks, "What was that memorial for?" And the man says, "I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck."
What was that
I don't give a
for?
fuck.
Now they're deep faking pictures of her into bikinis because, let's just more disrespect. There's not enough. I am so disgusted. I'm pretty worked up over this. And I just wanted to come on here and say my piece. And I would like to encourage everyone who's watching this to speak up. Have your voice be heard. I hope every single person says something if they can. Please make sure you vote. Vote in every election for everything, for local offices, for everything in your state, all the way up to the presidency. You have to vote. Like, that's the one thing, even though some people want to end women's suffrage, that's the one thing we have to do. That is a non-negotiable. If you're uncomfortable going to a protest, if you're uncomfortable speaking out, just vote. And I hope more people do speak out. I'm gonna end it there. I hope everyone stays safe. To anybody affected by ICE, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, and I'm so embarrassed. What a shit show. All right. Thank you guys for watching. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Like this video, leave a comment. All that stuff helps in the algorithm. If you want to support me on Patreon, that would be amazing. I have a feeling my platform might be at risk. The more things like this keep happening, the more I keep seeing content like this be suppressed, the more chance that we could at some point just get channels removed and things start being deleted. I mean, would that really surprise you? Everything that's been happening lately under Trump, do you really think it would be shocking if censorship is our biggest problem? So hopefully I'll see you guys over there, patreon.com/Jacqueline. I'm gonna be doing a live stream next week at some point on there where you can ask me any questions about this or anything else. So I hope to see you there. Stay safe. All right.